Greetings, greetings, greetings. Got a good show for you today. Some good words today. Some good words today. I know y'all haven't been seeing me. Been working on some stuff and rearranging some things. And I just want to say it's just a blessing to be in the position I'm in right now. It's a powerful thing. But what I want to talk to you today about is Psalms 1. We've been dealing with the Bible for years, over 200 some years. And the interpretations, we only have the exoteric knowledge of it. And what I am aiming to do is bring you into the circle, the esoteric knowledge, because it's important for your livelihood, your manifestations, to understand this knowledge of the mind. And the mind have laws. As I told you before in other videos, that all is mental, all is mind. And we have been taught here in America to use just, the left side of the brain. But that is not the creative side. The right side is the creative side. In order to use the right side of the brain, you're going to have to understand the laws of the mind. And it's 5 basic ones that in my research is very powerful and keep me in joy and in happiness. It's like we have to walk in the path of happiness, because the target is your nervous system. Just be keeping it real with you. Your nervous system is one of the valuable contacts to the divine, to break through the veil. And a lot of people don't understand how important it is to think rightly. And then you will tap into the divine. It's simple, but it's complex because we're so used to using the left side of our brain. We're dealing with language, analytics, in mathematics and stuff like that right there. But on the right side of the brain, you're dealing with creativity. You're dealing with intuition, feelings, art, daydreaming and dreaming, period. So we have to understand. That's why I say, know thyself. Know thyself. And that is the big blessing, if you want to call it that, a blessing to know yourself. And when you know yourself, you know God. Because the universe is a big mirror. It's a big mirror. And that's what people don't realize. And as we go through this journey, we come to this knowledge. We mature into this knowledge. But long as you stay in the left brain thinking, you're going to be stagnant. Just keeping it real. You're going to be stagnant. And the point that I want to bring to you, the 5 fundamental laws that will keep you, will guard your heart and your mind, and you will be able to access your right side. And like I tell everybody, this universe is a practical universe. That means that you got to practice this. You gotta think on this every day. That's why Psalms 1 is so important, because when the writers wrote it, they understood the psychology behind the scripture and understood how to use and operate in mind and obey the laws of mind. And so when we dealing with Psalms 1, it's a simple thing, and it's telling you how your manifestations and how your life will be blessed and prosperous if you use the right thought process. Let's check it out. Blessed is the man that walk not in the counsel of ungodly, nor stand in the way of sinners, nor sit in the seat of the scornful. But his delight in this scripture right here, delight, we just gonna transfer that or change that into happiness, joy. The Bible says, be at peace much as possible. Well, you can't be at peace unless you're happy. Happiness just don't pop up. You got to train yourself. You got to practice happiness. You got to see all the things that's going on in your life, and instead of labeling it a sad event, you need to label it as a happy event in order to practice to work with the right side of the brain. And the reason why the Virgo is telling you to work with the right side of the brain, because the right side of the brain is connected to your heart. And when you got peace in heart, peace in mind, happiness, and joyousness, your nervous system, it is at ease. And the universal divine law is understanding to send you more abundance, more joy, more health, more prosperity. We have to get over worry, stress, and fear. Once we have peace, we take back our dominion with happiness. We must be happy. It's a unconditionally happiness that we must practice, because even with these 5 fundamental laws that I'm going to give you of the universal mind, they won't work without delight or happiness. You got to have it, but you got to cultivate it. You got to sit down and relax yourself sometimes and just be happy. Find things to be happy about, and find the happiness inside of you. Call everything a joy. Just be happy within yourself, and you'll break free of the struggle of life. Because you got to remember, the mirror reflects back to us what we reflects into it. And that's what we got to remember. We got to always put that in mind, because when you dealing with mind, you dealing with feelings, willpower, the thinking ability. So when the universe feel you worrying, stressed, in fear, they're going to say, okay, well, we're going to get some more. Why? Because the universe is an impersonal universe. It has no respectable person. In other words, if we're going to use biblical terms, it don't have respectable persons. It only reflects back to you what you reflects in it. And to understand that, let me read a little bit more. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. Now, in this case, I just use I am. That's what I do. When I see Lord in the Bible, I use I am. And in his law doeth he meditate day and night. Well, I know you say it in your mind, how the word can I meditate day and night? Well, I told you the right hemisphere of the brain deals with daydreaming. When the last time have you daydreamed? When the last time you just chilled out and got caught yourself daydreaming? That is a form of meditation. When you see it in your mind, because all this stuff was around us is in our mind, but the illusion is coming through the eyes that we see with, if that makes sense. Day and night. Well, you know you dream at night and you can meditate at night. It is very important that you practice. Well, what is meditation? Meditation, metaphysically, is continuously, see, it's continuously contemplative thoughts to dwell on anything that you desire or you don't desire, realizing the reality of the absolute. That's what meditation is. When you close your eyes, you go beyond this third dimension. You go beyond the veil. And then you start cultivating through mind a relationship, a realization. What you see, I hear with these two eyes is the effect. And the causal that you enter into is the real reality. And this is how we have to change our minds. And listen to what it says. The purpose of meditation is to expand the consciousness Christward, to bring into realization divine truth, to be transformed. Listen, to be transformed in spirit, soul, and body by the renewing of your mind. Oh my God. See, this is the blissness. We have the capability. But if we don't know these things, then we can't use them. The first law that you should realize is I exist. I exist. And reason being, you are giving yourself a place in this universe, in divine mind. And when you do that, then you tell yourself, I am in the now. That's the second law. Don't the past, you can't worry about that no more. You can't do nothing about the past. The future, it brings on anxiety, stress. The past brings on depression. So if you stay in the now, because it's simultaneous, all three is happening right now. This is where the divine is at, in the now. And the third divine law is all is one. All is one. When you see your neighbor, you see yourself. That's why the Bible even said, do unto others as you would have them to do unto you, because it was basically telling you that greetings, my brother. We are the one and the same. We just got different bodies. We all one spirit. We all that one energy. And when we understand this, you won't let your happiness or your joy slip away. No matter what people do, no matter what the situations is, no matter how things get, if you maintain your mental attitude of happiness and joy, your vibration, your frequency will be much higher. All is one, and one is all. The Three Musketeers, man, they tell us these things in these movies, but we don't pay attention because we don't understand the esoteric knowledge. But I'm telling you, all is one. We just have different shells that we're in. Yes, all is one. The next one is what you throw out into the universe as you thinking, as you living your life. And if you thinking all the time on a negative thought process, negativity gonna come back to you. If you're thinking on a positive, emotional charge with deep feelings of goodness and happiness and pleasant thoughts, that is what gonna come back to you. These are laws that even what we call God cannot break these laws. He or it abides by these laws. That's how it's set up. In order to get in the flow of these things, we need to deal with our mind and understand these principles. Some people are using them and they don't even know they're using them. Some people don't even know they exist. And last but not least, everything change but change. Listen, that is one of the most valuable ones because people are so afraid of change that they will stay the same, and that frequency is on a low vibration. And when you stay the same, you're going to get cut by this universe. It's like a weapon because you're going against the grain. Change is good. When you understand that you must change and move into higher dimensions of thought, embrace it, accept it, because it's going to happen anyway. So you might as well accept it. That's how the universe is set up. These are fundamental principles of the universe itself. We exist. There's no time but the now. What we throw out into the universe or actually what we think come back to us. How we feel come back to us. Because the mind deals with emotions, energy and motion. We got to understand these principles. All is one. Change. You change, then your situation change. But we can't have it vice versa. The situation changed and you change. No, we can't do that. Happiness will give you your dominion. If you see everything joyous, you try to be happy in every event, at every situation. and give it your all, then the situation cannot change you. You change the situation. And these are the principles that we gotta abide by. And it's very powerful. And this is how you draw up on the source. We got to get out of this fear, worry, and stress, because it's attacking your nervous system. And when it attacks your nervous system, you like this, you shake it. Okay. And I'm telling you, cultivate a happiness in your life, and you'll stop this shaking. You'll stop this worrying. You'll stop this stress. And when you stop the stress, the signal that you will give to the universe will be a frequency of abundance, because everything that you desire, you think about it before you go and try to achieve it. So when the universe see that, listen, she trying to achieve this, or he trying to achieve this, and he at peace, he happy if we give it to him, happy if we don't give it to him, then what are you doing? You send the frequency out that I'm solid. What the Bible say? A sound mind. A sound mind. When your mind is sound, it's strong. An unsound mind is weak. So we need to focus on the mind, understand the mental, and understand the causation and the effect of it. So my suggestion to those that watch this video, put away anything that you feel make you unhappy. Get away from noise and things that cause you to be jittery. And get away of an inferior complex. And any information that is coming to you contrary to this one, stay away from it. You must go through a healing process. You've been banged up and traumatized through televisions and all these traumatic things, and we haven't took time out to go inside ourselves and heal ourselves. It's time for that. It's time for that. It's time to get rid of old traumas. What's going on, fam? Peace. Old traumas in order to bring on a new happiness. When you bring on this new happiness into your life, I mean, I don't care if you get in an accident. Be happy about it. Why? Because your frequency is more important than this effect, this material world. Because if you happy, you ain't gonna get into accidents anyway. See, this is how this go. When you are happy, your frequency is so high up here. But when you mad, sad, taking pity, low self-esteem, you down here, your vibration is low. The universe is up here. It's up here. And this is where you want to be. So in order to reach this level of dominion, you got to cultivate happiness. Tell yourself in the morning when you get up, I'm going to be happy today regardless of the circumstances. Unconditionally happy. That's what I'm going to be. And when you do that and start practicing every day, you're going to start feeling that bubble inside of you. It's like the butterflies inside of you. And then anything you think of, any goal you set out for yourself, it's going to come at ease. At ease. Because, listen, at ease is the counterpart of dis-ease. Sadness, depression, low self-esteem bring on dis-ease. But gladness, happiness, joy bring on ease, health, success, prosperity. So it's a mental alchemy that must take place. Anything, I don't care what it is, your wife getting on your nerve, be happy. If your parents getting on your nerve, be happy. People at your job is giving you beef, be happy, be thankful, be the change you want to see in this world, in you. And be kind to everybody. And then you'll see your finance, your joy, your capabilities, your creativity, your intuition, your feelings, your arts, whatever you into, it gonna prosper. Let me read a little bit more. It say, and shall be like the tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth his fruit in his season. His leaves also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. Let me say that again. And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. See, the Bible was telling us on an exoteric level, but we got to go into the esoteric level and deal with the mind and the laws of the mind, because everything happened in the spiritual dimension before it happened on the physical dimension. We got to keep this in mind. Listen what it say, mind, which feels, wills, and think, the intellect. You can't see your feelings, so it's eternal. You cannot see the will, so it's eternal. You get me? You cannot see your thoughts. It's eternal. The intellectual, you cannot see it until it manifests from the mind into this physical reality. That's how this works. And you can't go over the law, under the law. You got to go through the law. And that's what I'm telling you. Listen, the ungodly is not so, but like the sheaf which the wind drives away. What it's telling you, when you start practicing right thinking, the wrong thinking is going to fade away. Those thoughts that keep you in bondage is going to fade away. If you start practicing happiness, creativity, following the law of now, telling yourself I exist in the now, that I'm one with God, all is one with God. My brothers, my sisters, we all are one. Meditate on these things, walk in these things. Then you will understand what I think is going to come back to me. That's why even in the Bible it say, listen, my word will not come back to me void, meaning whatever I send my word out, when I speak something, when I send it out, it's going to complete the task and it's going to bring it back to me, whatever I spoke, whatever I thought. So then that'll give you a way of thinking, and then you'll be careful on how you thinking about people, how you thinking about situations. You'll start reframing the thought process, and then you will start eliminating negative thoughts and start cultivating positive thoughts. And when you start cultivating positive thoughts, your life, your livelihood will start being positive, and your happiness will be abundance. The peace that surpasses all understanding. It will guard your heart and mind. It's here. All the negative lies, the untruths will start manifesting and being cast out into the fire of thought. It'll be gone. Because the Christ consciousness is truth. It's abundant of happiness. It's abundant of success. Listen, we are so uniquely and wonderfully made. We have a mechanism in us that will cause us to succeed or fail. By using right thought and the right hemisphere of your brain, you are allowing yourself to be in the now. And while you in the now, that mechanism that is built in with us, all of us have it. It will guide us to truth. It'll guide us to abundance. It'll guide us to happiness. It'll guide us to joy. And it'll keep perpetuating that long as you practice it. And this side of the universe is side up. What we call God is wisdom, will, and consciousness. That is what we are, pure consciousness. All of this is taking place in our mind. Everything you see out here is taking place in our mind. I know it's hard to believe that this and the camera and the computers and all this is solid material, but guess what? Everything started in the mind, then became an ideal, and then it manifests. That's how this universe is set up. That's how it's set up. Y'all got anything to say? Get on the there go the link. Hit that link and y'all could come in. Y'all can come in the chat room. It's by my name. See, we got to understand how to interpret the scriptures. Now, let me read a little bit more. Therefore, ungodly shall not stand in the judgment. Well, what is the judgment? What is the esoteric meaning of judgment? Because we got to understand that what we think from the exoteric point of view is one way. Now, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm saying that it's 2 point of views that we operating on. Judgment. See, when we think judgment, like, God gonna judge us, it's a mental act of evolution. See, in order for you to be on this level right here, you got to go through something and evolve. Through your trials and tribulations, you evolve. You keep evolving. It's a mental action of evolution through compassionate or contrast. Spiritual discrimination in the inner voice through whose expressions we come into a large realization of ourselves. We start realizing that we're thinking wrong. In other words, we start realizing that the effect is just an illusion. And the true reality is the cause, and that we are one. This is the judgment. We start realizing that the mind and consciousness is what we truly are. And so we start developing that part more than the physical part. And once we can get on the level of doing that and keeping that in practice, we'll start manifesting the good that we desire. Sure will. But it's a practice. Remember these fundamentals. Tell this to yourself. I exist. I live in the now, this moment, right now. There's nothing in the future. There's nothing in the past. I live right here and now. And if you focus on whatever task at hand in the now, you will get more answers to solve the problem, because that mechanism inside of us works in the now. It don't work in the past. It don't work in the future. It works in the now. So if you got a problem sitting before you on your desk, it will help you solve that problem. But you got to be in a state of happiness, joy. And as you cultivate this happiness and joy, you will see it gets smoother. It'll get smoother. And that's what we got to realize. Your life is in your hand. Your life is in your hand. And what I mean by that, when they said life is what you make it, that's what they mean. You create your happiness or your unhappiness on what you think about. And there's no limit. God has no limit. But as long as you limit living in the left hemisphere of the brain, you limiting yourself. Once you get over to the creative side and you start meditating on your creativity, daydreaming on your creativity, following your intuition, feeling wonderful. I feel great today. And I'm going to continue this. What they say back in the day, I ain't going to let nobody steal my joy. Even the Bible say, God has given us a cloak of joy, because it knows that you're supposed to be happy. Why are you crying? You're supposed to be strong. He say, let the weak say, I am strong. This is mental alchemy. This is how you change your life and your dominion. And then you can stand on the right side. Listen, if you go through the Bible and you look at it, you'll see everything is talking about righteousness, the right side. Throw your net to the right. Well, they throw the net to the left. Then he said, no, throw it to the right side. He's telling you to think with your right hemisphere of the brain. This is esoteric knowledge. This is science. The book is a science book. I keep saying that. I ain't going to say that no more. But you got to understand what you are and what your capabilities are. Listen, the last verse say, for the Lord knoweth the way of righteousness. Listen, what that is saying, that I am, know when you thinking right. The other stuff, it don't even pay attention to. When you're thinking bad about somebody, you're thinking envy, you're thinking jealousy, and all that stuff, right? It don't even play with that. It knows the ways of righteousness. So what it's telling you, that mechanical mechanism within you. If you stay in the now, it's going to show you how to use, because it knows the way. It's going to show you how to use your right hemisphere in order to feel wonderful, so you can think wonderful, so you can be wonderful, so you can have wonderful things, see wonderful places, and do wonderful things, if that makes sense. But as long as you're playing with the left hemisphere, no, because it's fear over there. It's poverty over there. But the way of the ungodly shall perish. When you start thinking right, all that old stuff you used to think is gone. It's out of gas. It can't stand no more, because it's just taking a ride with you anyway. It's not eternal. It can't stand the judgment or the test of the fire. It cannot. Yes. But with that being said, know thyself, love thyself, and be true to thyself. Peace and many blessings and blissful life for you all. Peace out.